The statement is something from, you can tell it's written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, like, you're going to find out.
They not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest.
You know, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people if they're not true, and very hurtful, frankly, if they are true. But if they're true, you shouldn't have been in the room and you shouldn't have been participating. So I anticipate that we're going to start filing lawsuits, and it may not be big names at first, but we have a long list of names, and you might imagine in situations like this.
Picture this. You're a legend, a titan. For decades, you've built an image on unshakable confidence, raw power, and street-savvy composure. You are Busta Rhymes. The name alone commands respect. The voice is a force of nature. The presence is a wall. Then, in one single, unguarded moment, in the flash of a camera phone, that entire wall crumbles to dust.
Surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way you would present the idea of going.
This wasn't a performance. This wasn't a verse. This was a crack in the armor. And the internet, with the precision of a surgical strike, zeroed in on it. Overnight, the hip-hop veteran became the internet's main character for all the wrong reasons. Memes flooded timelines. His name was trending not for a new track, but for a reaction. A moment of pure, unfiltered chaos.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he...
But here's where the story twists. This wasn't just a random moment of awkwardness. This was the spark that lit a fuse connected to a powder keg of stories that have been whispered in the industry's back corridors for years. Stories that are now exploding into the light.
The statement is something from, you can tell it's written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, like, you're going to find out.
Let's rewind. The scene, an exotic bookstore in Atlanta. The characters, Puff Daddy and his security. The witness, a man who was there. He tells a story of brown paper bags, of items being taken off shelves without a second glance, and one specific item catches his eye, butt plugs. He jokes, "Yo, what are you getting this for?" Puff's response, "Can I do my shopping by myself?" A simple question, but the tension is palpable. This isn't just about a shopping trip. This is a glimpse into a world of secrets, a world where money, stacks of it handed over without a word, buys silence.
You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because look, they will fall back, but the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right.
The story accelerates. A private G5 jet, a presidential suite, a closed door, and then a cousin trying to get in, a security guard doing his job blocking the entrance, a physical altercation, and then the door flies open. Puff and the rapper, Jay, run out, towels around their waists, but they are, and I quote, butt naked. And the explanation given? You ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on.
I'm hearing at the door and stuff like that, like, yeah, so then next thing you know, somebody rang the doorbell. So I opened the door and the dude said, "Yo, I'm here for my cousin." I said, "Who your cousin?" He said, Ja Rule. I said, "Well, he busy right now." He said, "He busy doing what?" I said, "He with Puff, they're in the room, they busy, they don't want to be bothered." He said, "Well, I'm going in there." I said, "Bruh, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them."
Connect the dots, the exotic bookstore, the private items, the closed door session, the freaking. The witness himself poses the chilling question, what they was doing with those butt plugs. This viral clip of Busta wasn't just about dancers, it was a key, unlocking a vault of long suppressed narratives about the environment he was in. An environment of extreme wealth, power, and alleged depravity that operates by its own rules. And the rabbit hole goes deeper, much deeper.
They not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest.
A new witness, Courtney Burgess, testifies before a federal grand jury. He claims to possess a trove of digital evidence, 11 flash drives from Diddy's late ex-girlfriend, Kim Porter. On them, 8 videos, featuring 8 celebrities at Diddy's freak-offs or parties. 6 males, 2 females, all allegedly victims of sex crimes.
God giving him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, then have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
This is no longer just about gossip. This is a federal investigation. The walls are closing in, and the tactics being described are straight out of a spy thriller. We're talking about the decoy strategy, using misdirection like topless waitresses and flamboyant performers to distract from the real activities happening behind closed doors. The isolation play, sealing off areas, collecting phones, creating a black site within a party. No evidence, no witnesses. The discernment test. A witness describes how powerful figures will test your boundaries with touch and language to see what they can get away with.
These types of allegations are very hurtful to people if they're not true, and very hurtful, frankly, if they are true. But if they're true, you shouldn't have been in the room and you shouldn't have been participating. So I anticipate that we're going to start filing lawsuits, and it may not be big names at first, but we have a long list of names, and you might imagine in situations like this.
If you let them, you're in. If you don't, you're out. This is a system, a carefully constructed ecosystem designed to enable the powerful and silence the vulnerable. And Busta Rhymes' viral moment was a flicker of light from inside that system. A moment where the carefully maintained composure of a hip-hop god broke, and we all saw the very real, very human shock and discomfort of what was happening around him. The fallout is already here. Brand deals are teetering on the edge. Fellow rappers are distancing themselves. The internet has turned his legacy into a punchline.
Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
The question is no longer about a single reaction video. The question is, can Busta Rhymes survive being associated with this escalating storm? Or has a lifetime of building a legend just been undone by a single moment of shocking, revealing realness? This is bigger than a meme. This is a cultural reckoning, and we are all watching it unfold in real time. I want to hear from you. The most important part of this whole video happens right now, in the comments. I want you to tell me exactly what topic you want me to break down in the next video. Just write it down below, and I'll see you in the comments.